Hey everybody, Erica here with One Berkshire, and we're back with another Women in Business interview. I'm joined with founder and CEO Christa Proper from Proper Connections, and this is a really cool story of a business that was started by this lady that is now just growing like crazy, covering 3 states now. And I'm excited for you guys to meet Christa because she's got a cool story to tell. So, hello.
Hi everybody. My name is Christa Proper. I'm the CEO of Proper Connections, a company that we started. I actually started in my kitchen, in my dining room. Went through 3 acquisitions of other companies that I worked for. And that 3rd acquisition, I said, you know something, I think I want to do something a little different on my own. I'll scale back a little bit, keep a few customers, and do my own thing. So I started out at home. Pretty soon grew to where I needed a little bit of help. Talked to a few people that I used to work with. A few decided they might want to come and join. So one person in particular has been with me for my whole career in every position I've been in. I actually started at Taconic Telephone, which was an independent telephone company in New York. And I started there. I got out of college, and I wasn't sure really what I wanted to do with my business degree. So they had a posting for a telephone operator. So I thought, well, until I decide really what I want to do with my degree, I'll be a telephone operator.
And this is the thing where like people will call in, you'll answer the phone and say, who can I patch you into? Exactly. And you'll like patch them over. Yes. Oh my goodness.
So I started out there, and I was there for about 10 years, and I had 9 positions.
Okay.
So anytime there was a new opportunity, I would go for the position, and I most times got it. So I really worked in every facet of that telephone company.
Wow.
So then they sold, and they owned 2 phone companies. So Taconic Telephone in New York, and they owned Richmond Telephone in Richmond, Massachusetts. So the family had asked me to come over to Richmond and not be part of the acquisition and help them expand their Richmond telephone office. So there's 2 independent telephone companies in the state of Massachusetts, Granby Telephone and Richmond Telephone. So it was an independent telephone company, a very small one, not really something I was used to. Really wasn't qualified completely to run that company, so I had a lot to learn. But I wasn't afraid. You know, I networked with a lot of great people, and we expanded Richmond Telephone, which had 1,200 access lines, to we expanded into Berkshire, became a competitive local exchange carrier. They call it a CLEC. And we took on Verizon in Berkshire County, and we expanded that company from 1,200 access lines to 6,500.
Whoa.
And then Richmond Networks was acquired, and that was purchased by Cornerstone Telephone. So I worked with them for probably about 4 to 5 years, and then they were acquired, and I thought by that time it was time for me to make a change and do something a little different. My heart was in Berkshire County. I had been there most of my career, so thought I would work out of my home in New York, but I would, work with my customers in Berkshire County. So I really did start in my dining room.
Wow.
And from working at Taconic Telephone, Teresa Heffner worked with me through almost all of my different positions. So I asked her if she was interested in coming on board. So she reported to my home, my dining room, and that's where her and I started.
Yeah, nice department meetings there at the dining room table.
Really
so for anybody watching, and myself included, who feel like you're speaking a whole other language right now, so we got the telephone on the table here. Like, break down for us exactly what does Proper Connections do?
Okay, so we are a carrier broker. So if somebody needed us to evaluate their telephone bill, it's like an insurance broker. So we'll look at your telephone and your data needs, and we can get you multiple different proposals from multiple different companies, carriers, and kind of help you devise a solution. So we do that on the carrier side. So we'll help you get data circuits, voice circuits at discounted prices, and make sure that we can help engineer a solution that works for you. We also do billing analysis, so once you get that first telephone bill, and it's great.
Like, what are all these fees that I didn't expect to pay? Yeah.
So we'll go through that with you, make sure that you're being billed accurately, help you through that process. When you cut over to a different carrier, a new carrier, there's a lot of pieces that go with that. We want to make sure that it's done smoothly, especially if you're a business, so we help with that. We also provide data engineering services, so we'll come in and we'll engineer your data network. We can provide support for your servers and your different data aspects of your internal network. And we also do USAC consulting, which is a rural healthcare grant program. It's federally funded, so we have 26 hospitals that we work with to help them get some funding for those services, for those data services.
Wow. Yeah, because as we're getting more into medical records electronically and all that, there's huge data needs happening in hospitals.
And we also install these. We install phone systems.
Okay.
So we get you the carrier services that connect you to the phones, and we provide services for the hardware as well.
Excellent. Wow.
Yeah.
So yeah, these are things that we don't even think that we need, but until we're running businesses, and then like, oh my gosh, I need to think about phone now and data now and everything else. So you're already thinking about it.
We're thinking about it. We'll take care of all that for you so you can run your business.
So something you said earlier, you know, how you started as a phone operator, but like anytime a new position came up, you kind of raised your hand and said, yes, let me try that one. I can tell you're like that kind of a leader.
Yeah.
That you're throw me in there, let me try it, I'm going to figure it out. So let's talk about you a little bit. Like, how do you work? How are you wired? Like, give us something that's happened along your career, maybe that you've grown or learned from.
Well, I'll tell you that when I graduated from college and I didn't really know what I wanted to do, I had a conversation with my brother-in-law. So I was looking for a job, and I said to him, what does Kimberly-Clark have? Do they have anything for me? And he said, well, what are you interested in doing? And I had a business administration degree, and I said, geez, I really don't know. Maybe I want to be an administrative assistant. And he said, well, why wouldn't you want to be the boss? And I looked at it, and I thought, those words have carried with me through my whole career. Why not be the boss?
Why not be the boss? Yes.
And so I basically, my first position, I was fortunate to work for a CEO that was, she helped women grow a lot. She was always giving you opportunities. So I really did. Anytime a new position came up, I was very bored after I kind of conquered being a telephone operator, and there was different things that came about. I was always interested. I always wanted a challenge.
Yeah.
I always wanted to grow and expand my knowledge. So, and that's kind of leader I am too. It's really developing products that serve our customer needs. And I think if you take care of your customer base and you take care of your employees, you kind of have a winning model for a successful business. But we've really grown our business based on what the businesses in this area needed.
Right,
That's kind
really
of how
paying attention to the unique needs here and responding to them and being flexible enough to respond.
Very flexible.
Because you're in an industry that's changed a lot.
It's changed a lot.
Yeah.
And we are changing with the way the industry is changing, and that has opened up a lot of opportunities to us. I think before we were really concerned with what was coming into the buildings, so we were more of a carrier-based operation, where now, once that technology gets into your business, what do you do with it? And then there was a need to help people with that part of their network. And so we really have grown and brought in expertise in those areas so we can help you get the services in, and then we'll help you, accomplish what you need to once you have that. So.
And I like the vision of not just saying like, oh no, but we just do this. Like, well, wait a minute, if our customer also needs this, could we do it? Why not? Like, it's again that willingness to put out your hand and say, yeah, let's figure that out together. Let's do it.
Exactly. And answering our phones. We're big on, making sure we have that customer service, because I think that's one thing as you grow, especially in this industry. If you can't handhold your customers and answer your phone and provide that level of support, that's something that's really needed, because the bigger companies don't do that.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that's something that's, that's really needed.
We're getting a caller right now.
I think somebody already answered.
Somebody's calling in to ask us questions on our interview here. So you got this great advice, or you had this kind of CEO that was a mentor for you. Now I kind of want to ask you to put on your mentoring hat for a second, and what would be advice you might share or encourage others to consider who might be starting their business career?
Yeah, I think especially from being a woman, don't be afraid of failure. Because I think, if you're afraid to fail, you're never going to grow and conquer what you potentially could. So I would say that. I think as a woman, take credit for your successes. So women tend to downplay, their successes.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to do that. Toot your own horn and be happy with what you've accomplished in your career. Be true to yourself. Have confidence. Make sure that you can accomplish anything that you really want to, and just because I think it's a male dominated industry, especially in technology. So women don't tend to have as much confidence, and even if you do have the experience and knowledge, you're afraid to tout that experience and knowledge. And I think one thing that I've learned is, women know as much as men do, and if you have the experience.
Yeah, if you're the expert, you're the expert.
You're the expert.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman.
Yeah.
And don't be afraid to share that.
That's awesome. Thank you. That's great advice. And then the last question I've been asking everyone is just women in business in the Berkshires who inspire you.
I would say probably number one would be Darlene Rodowitz. She's the CFO of Berkshire Medical Center, and just the things she's accomplished in her career are pretty amazing.
She's come up a few times
really?
in these interviews.
Okay.
Yeah,
she's amazing. And Lorinda Ackley Mazer. So Lorinda, her family owned Taconic Telephone and Richmond Telephone. She gave me the opportunity to help grow Richmond into the competitive local exchange carrier that it became, and really kind of jump-started my career. And she really did that for a lot of women.
Wow.
But she was definitely a role model to me.
Excellent. Well, this has been so fun talking to you. It's nice to know there's a local, women-run, women-owned company that's growing. I mean, I love the fact that you're growing here, and I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about the growth and kind of where you see yourselves going.
Yeah, we started out with basically a two-man show, and now we have 28 employees. We provide full benefits. We're continually investing in training our employee base. We just recently expanded. We were buying a building in New York State, and we plan on being in there by the end of this year. And we've added a few hospitals in Kansas and Georgia, so we're planning on becoming a national company, and we've definitely off to a good start to meet those goals.
And we love that. Companies that start here in the Berkshire area and then become a national company and stay headquartered here, that's so great for our economy and everything else. So thanks for being one of those.
My pleasure. My heart is always in the Berkshires.
Awesome.
So.
Yay. Okay, well, thanks so much for joining us, and hope everybody enjoyed learning about this amazing company if you hadn't heard about them. And give us some thumbs up on Facebook and like the video, and we'll see you soon. Thanks so much.
Bye-bye.